Hey guys, Kurt from Time Machine Transport and Mr. Clyde just out here playing in a van down by the railroad tracks. Truck's right there, just emptied over at Home Depot there this morning. Appointment was for 5:15, but they said, oh, we'll get to you when we can. Obviously, they don't know the definition of appointment, but anyways. So I want to tell you guys my little, my Pinocchio, well, not I, but I spoke with Pinocchio last night at the truck stop. So I stopped over in, it's actually not, it's west of Laramie, Wyoming, at the exit 290, the Al-Qaeda truck stop. If you guys are owner-op or you guys whatever, stop there. It's exit 290 on I-80. And consider, I guess it's Laramie, Wyoming, but the Petro and the Flying J and the Loves are at the 310 on I-80. And the Al-Qaeda truck stop is at mile marker 290, and their fuel was $2.99 a gallon. Although coming in on I-25 at mile marker, I think 239-ish, the Circle K truck stop, they had fuel for $2.89 a gallon on I-25 in Colorado. But anyways, so I pull in yesterday, catch fuel, and I shut down there because my appointment here this morning was 5:15 and I was a couple hours away, so I figured I'll shut down there. I can get some coffee, whatever the case is. And so I walked Mr. Clyde, and the place is a fucking shithole. It's an absolute dump. I mean, it's like trash everywhere. The parking lot is garbage, but stop there for cheap fuel. And they actually have pretty decent food there. But anyways, so I'm walking Mr. Clyde. What do you got there? Oh, man, you won't eat a hot dog or your mom's delicious cooking as she makes you chicken and good stuff, but you will chew on a naughty, nasty piece of garbage. Where you going? Hey, Clyde, get out of that mud. Hey, get over here. Clyde, hey, what'd I just tell you? Get over here. Get over here. Get out of that mud. Oh, you're naughty. You are naughty. Get out of that mud, you naughty boy. Come on, let's go this way. Get you out of the mud. So anyways, so I'm walking back to the truck with Mr. Clyde, and a guy's parked right next to me in a red truck leased to Swift, and he honks his horn. And he points. He's got two dogs. Clyde is he's half Boston Terrier and half French Bulldog. He's called a Frenchton or a Frenchie. Anyways, but he looks more like a Boston Terrier. His colors, his whatever. So anyways, he points. The guy honks his horn. He points to his dog, and he puts up two fingers. And excuse my dirty ass hands. Just waiting to go pick up this roofing going up the Billings, but rush hour traffic right now, so figured I'd do a video and let him run around. So anyways, another thing, they got all these holes out here. I mean, there's some big ass holes, man. Like, what kind of, I mean, they're everywhere, especially on the other side of the tracks over there. Man, there's dozens of them. It's a big ass hole, man. So anyways, get out of there. Something pop up and grab you and drag you down in that hole. Daddy never see you again. So the guy, we jump up in the truck, and the guy rolls down his windows, and he's got a full-grown Boston Terrier, purebred, and then he's got a little baby. And the baby was cute, but it looked like a little retarded baby. Tongue was hanging out and shit, so it was crazy. But anyways, I mean, I always tell people, you can't lie to a liar. Because when I used to party and do the wrong things, I lied because you know that you're doing the wrong thing. So I always tell people, you can't lie to a liar, man. So this dude was... I literally, I told my wife Sarah last night, "Hi, baby, I love you." I said I literally wanted to just tell him, "You're a fucking liar," and just roll the window up, because I was just like, this dude cannot really believe that I believe this. So anyways, big, fat, nasty, just a gross dude. Anyways, he's like, yeah, he says, yeah, I just ordered food here. They got really good food here. I said, yeah, they do. I said, it's all right. I mean, it's good. I said, but the place in Deming, if you're ever in Deming, New Mexico, they got a Hindu place there. Sir, I mean, they make the best Indian food I've ever had in my life, and I've had a lot of it around the country. But anyways, it's in Deming, New Mexico on I-10. Anyways, where's it, I-20? I-10, I believe. Yeah, I-10. So anyways, if you're ever there, stop there. They got cheap fuel, and they really clean the truck stop. A lot of parking, but they have really good food there. Anyways, I tell him, I'm like, yeah, that's good, but there's a place in Deming, New Mexico. He tells me this is how I knew he was a bullshitter. So anyways, Pinocchio says, yeah, there's a place, a Hindu place in Grants, Arizona, that I get food at. He said it's not as good as here. They don't cook it. He mentioned some kind of ingredient or something that they put in it. And I'm like, well, it's not Grants, Arizona. It's Grants, New Mexico. But anyways, that was the first sign. And then, but I didn't correct him. I'm not that guy. So then I'm like, there's more bullshit to come here. So then he says, yeah, he said, the guy that owns this place, the place in Laramie there, he's the same owner in Deming, New Mexico. And I'm like, no, that's not true, because I've actually talked to the owner of both places. It's not the same owner. So the guy, another bullshit. So he says, yeah, he said, same guy owns both places, man. I know the owner really well. We're good friends. I'm like, oh, okay. Again, I'm not going to call him out. So then he liked our logo. He's like, hey, man, he said, how much you pay for that logo? And I said, well, my brother-in-law, Bob Crum, did it. And I said, for the trucks or whatever, Bob, my wife actually paid for it for like a birthday gift for me when we first met. But anyways, we go to a place and they print up the decals, and then we just put them on ourselves. But I told him, I said, for X amount, it's like $1,000 or whatever for all the decals or whatever. He's like, oh, I like it. I'm not going to do it. I just really like the logo. I'm like, oh, okay, thanks. So then he says, yeah, I got 20 trucks. Or he said he had 20 trucks. And he said, he said, I have 20 trucks. But then he's like, yeah, I had 20 trucks. And I'm like, well, do you or don't you? Then he says, now he's in a new Kenworth, not a long nose or anything, but a newer Kenworth. And on the side it says lease to Swift Transportation out of Arizona. Well, then he says, yeah, I got a W9 back at the house, and I'm going to fix it, and I'm going to probably lease back on the Landstar. And I'm like, okay. What about the other 19 trucks? Didn't say anything. I'm just waiting for him to dig his hole even more. And then he says, yeah, I had a driver in it. He was 80,000 pounds, and he came off the exit, and he was in a 19 speed, which I don't think there's a 19 speed. I think it's either an 18 or a 13. I have a 13. I think it's an 18 speed and then 13. But anyways, I could be wrong, but I didn't think they made a 19 speed. So he said the guy comes out of 19th gear and then slams all the way down to 7th gear and blows out the drivetrain and the transmission. And he says, my other trucks are leased onto some concrete outfits out there in Arizona because, concrete, they just need it everywhere out there. And I said, yeah, my brother-in-law Tim is a realtor out there. I said, I know building in its heyday, I'm sure they use a lot of concrete. So he's talking about how he's got these old timers that roll his trucks and this and that, and then he's like, yeah, I'm getting out of this truck, man. I don't like it. I'm going my W9. I'm like, okay. Well, then he says, I have 4,500 acres that I own in Arizona that I ranch, him and his family. And then he says, yeah, and then I bought 5 acres. He said he has, it was either 50 or 100 acres in Alaska, just sitting there. Then he said he bought 5 acres in South Dakota for his aunt because she needed a place to stay. And he says, yeah, it was wholesale and it was $25,000. So I said, hell yeah, man, I'm going to buy that. And he says, and I have 4,500 acres in Nevada that I ranch. And I was like, oh, wow. And he's like, yeah, I just do this, you know, drive this, just, you know. And he just left it at that. So I'm still waiting for this dude to tell me why he's in a truck that says lease to Swift, but he has a W-9 he's going to lease on the Landstar. But he doesn't have his own authority. He's got 20 trucks, but doesn't have his own authority. That's just kind of crazy. So I'm still waiting for the dude to tell me why. He's just like, yeah, I'm just in this. I just do this because, you know. I'm still waiting. Still waiting for the dude to tell me why he's in that truck, but he owns 4,500 in Arizona, 50 or 100 in Alaska, 5 in South Dakota, and 4,500 in Nevada. He's got 20 trucks. And then he made a mistake because when he was talking to me, he says, yeah, he was talking about his dogs in his room. He's like, yeah, he's got another female purebred Boston Terrier at the house. He's like, yeah, and, you know, she sits in my room or whatever. I'm like, then he was talking about his grandmother, that the male, full-grown Boston Terrier pulls his grandmother around when she walks him. So I'm like, so you just keep your female Boston Terrier in your room? So that's a clear sign of somebody living. And I lived with my mom. I mean, shit, when I was broke before I got in the truck, and I lived in my mom's house. So for years, for a few years, I sold my house, and when 08 came, I lost everything and was owed hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I sold my house, and I was living in my mom's house and on the couch. So I was almost homeless if it weren't for my mom. But anyways, but yeah. So when somebody says, "Yeah, my room," that's a clear sign of, yeah, you live at home with your mom or your daddy or your grandmother, which, hey, that's fine. If that's what you do, that's fine. But you don't have to concoct all these Pinocchio-ass stories talking about 20 trucks and 4,500 acres and 50 or 100 acres and then 5 acres and 4,500 acres and you're a rancher and you got all these trucks. And I literally just wanted to roll up the window. Well, say, you're a fucking liar, and just roll up the window and just look at the dude and give him the middle finger and be like, you're a liar. Oh, God. I couldn't believe it. It's like, how insulting that you actually believe that I thought you would think that I would believe that. But anyways, and then I got up this morning at about 1:30, and I didn't have any trailer lights. And I just put a new pigtail on that truck for my power cord, and it was corroded, so I sprayed it down, and now I got lights. But anyway, so that took me a half hour to figure that out and get it cleaned out and everything. So anyways, I still made my appointment here, and now I'm heading on over to Denver to pick up this roofing, going up to Billings, and then from Billings, I'm catching a load out of Lovell, Wyoming, going to Sussex, Wisconsin, and going back to the house after 6 weeks or something like that. So, but anyways, I just wanted to tell you guys about the Pinocchio. It was just hilarious. And then and this is another thing. So then he went in there to get his food, and he comes back out and he rolls down his window because Clyde likes to sit on my lap and look out the window. So he rolls down his window again. He's like, yeah, man, I got my food, man. I'm gonna take off. And he goes to it's an automatic, so he puts the shifter in drive, and he's just rocking back and forth. He didn't even release his brakes. And I kind of looked at him. He goes, yeah, he said, somebody's been pulling my fifth wheel, man. So I always check to make sure my trailer's locked. I'm like, so they picked you out of all the people in the truck stop to just pull your fifth wheel handle so you could drop your trailer. It's like, dude, you made a mistake. You went to go drive off without releasing your brakes. And when your truck is kind of rocking and you're tugging, and you just look at me, yeah, somebody's been pulling my fifth wheel, man. So I checked to make sure that my trailer's, not disconnected. Anyways, man, I mean, I've talked to some bullshitters in my time, but man, that dude took the cake. So it was just kind of funny. So I figured I'd share and say goodbye, Mr. Clyde. Right turn, Clyde. So anyways, just wanted to give you guys a little funny story about Pinocchio last night. So anyways, I hope this video finds you well. and it's a beautiful day in Colorado today. It's chilly this morning in Laramie, but it's turned out to be a nice day. So I hope you guys are well, and please like and subscribe to the channel. Ciao.